Jewel, go for it. Let's see here. Do you want the camera?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I sit where you are? Yes, please.
Hi, Julie.
Hello, how are
Howdy.
you? Hi, how are
Wonderful.
you?
Glad to see
Aw.
you joining. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Now,
love
if you don't mind us starting out, I don't know if you remember what we talked about, but can you tell people what your theological views are so they know you're not some kind of atheist or God hater up here just to start trouble? Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah, me, right? Okay. Sorry, there's so many of you. I don't know. Okay. So I am a believer in Christ. And I was in California and with my husband, and we found this ministry, Dinosaur Adventureland, to go to. We actually found it on Dr. Hovind's YouTube channel. And gosh, it's so cool. It really is. I'm not going to say it's not. It was such a beautiful ministry to go to. And I loved serving the Lord there. It was very awesome. And then slowly over time, behind the scenes, things started not becoming so right. And I slowly started, eventually people's true colors eventually start showing. And I just slowly started seeing over time that things weren't right at the ministry. And so I chose to eventually leave on my own terms. But I am a Christian. I do believe in the Lord. I do believe that he died on the cross for our sins and that he rose again also as well. And God is good. And I'm very thankful for the Lord. And, I love Cindy. There's a lot of slander and stuff being said about her. And one of the reasons why I am coming out to show myself and to speak finally, because I wasn't planning on to, because I didn't want to, I was just going to leave peacefully and I never wanted to come up, but I am so close with Cindy and I love her so much. And it breaks my heart to see these lies being said about her, and it's not right. And for me to know the truth and for me to know what really went on while Dr. Hovind is doing his YouTubes, saying things that are not true, I'm like, enough's enough. And the truth finally has to come out and be told. And so that's why I'm doing this. I don't want people to think I'm coming out because I want to hate. I don't want to have hatred in my heart. I want to love. I care. I love Dr. Hovind very, very much, but it's really sad to see him change. He's not the same person that he used to be. He really changed, a lot in a lot of different ways. And it's wrong of him to not be truthful about some things that are being told. And so this is one of the reasons why I'm coming out, to make sure that people know what really is going on, because I've been sitting in the background just listening and watching and listening. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not good. So that's why I'm here today.
All right. You had said something to the effect of that he used to be one way and then things changed. Can you give us an example of what he used to be like and then what happened?
Well, like Dr. Hovind, when he does his YouTube videos, he's so awesome and he does these great YouTube Bible studies and everybody loves him. But when he's off camera, he's kind of a different person. I think he has I don't know. He allows certain things to go on that are not okay. He allows people to do things that are not okay to do. He will say on camera, we don't allow drugs and alcohol on the property, but yet he allowed drugs and alcohol on the property. In fact, it was one of his main guys that he allowed to do that. So I don't know. He just will say one thing and does other things. So.
Okay. Can you give us some examples of the disrespect that you've stated has been done towards Cindy, that you've witnessed, what you've experienced, why it bothered you, what was handled? And if you folks don't mind, I'd like to hear also Mark Stoney on this issue. He said that he also had some experiences where he's seen some things go down that just wasn't legit. Go ahead.
Yes. So Ernie Land and Steve, I don't know if he was on the board yet or not. I don't know. And Brady Byram as well. Dr. Hovind. So these, and Bill Sardi. Bill Sardi is another one too. So they started calling Cindy bipolar, mean stuff. Jezebel. She had like this Jezebel spirit and just really mean, wicked things. And so we're at a Christian ministry. We are there to serve God and love God. And we're supposed to love people as Christ loved us. And Dr. Hovind is Cindy's husband. And for Cindy to cry to him and to say to Kent, these people are calling me names, and Dr. Hovind says, well, you deserve it because you brought it upon yourself. How dare you say something like that to your wife? You're supposed to be a husband to her and protect her. You're supposed to be, why are you allowing Ernie Land and Bill Sardi and Brady Byram and Steve Lynn just be so degrading to her? Aren't we supposed to be godly here? Aren't we supposed to be in a godly ministry? And plus, what if Cindy is bipolar and you're calling her these types of names? What kind of effect do you think that would do to somebody if they really are crazy? That's not okay. You don't talk to somebody like that. And for me, I really saw a different side of Kent, because I'm like, why would he allow mean things to be said to Cindy? And Cindy would go to her husband for protection, and he would not protect her. He would just say, you brought it upon yourself. You deserve it. Really? That's what you're really going to say to your wife? That's not okay. That's wrong.
Same thing.
So you're saying that there was not only disrespect from him, but he was allowing some of the staff to also do that. Would it be okay to give names of some of the people who were disrespectful?
She just did.
Well, it was the board members. The board members were very
Well, I
disrespectful.
mean, like a few of the names, and just tell me a little bit about the experience, what you had noticed.
Steve Lynn's the only one you didn't say. You said them already.
Well, yeah, I said Steve's name too.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Ernie
Ernie
Land, Bill Sardi, Brady Byram, and Steve.
Okay. Well, Julia, can you tell us from the beginning how this started? Tell us what happened
Yes.
all the way to beginning from end.
Yes, so I worked in the shipping office, and I also greeted the people and everything else. So I was not part of the construction crew outside. So I always was in the office and did emails and answered the phones and took care of products and things like that to ship out. And Dr. Hovind came into the office and he said, hey, Julie, I want to let you know everybody here at camp is freaking out. I have a friend, Chris Jones. He was charged being a sex offender. He's been in prison for it. He is one of my good longtime friends. He is coming here to Dinosaur Adventureland today. I just want to let you know that he is coming. People outside, because I was in the office, I didn't know the commotion going on outside. Everybody at camp was panicking about a sex offender coming to Dinosaur Adventureland, where we allow children to go to. Little bit of a strange problem, don't you think? So anyway, I said, okay, Dr. Hovind, no problem, whatever. So Dr. Hovind leaves. I see a black SUV pull down the driveway, and I go out to greet the car because that's what I do. I greet everybody and I have them sign the waiver form and things like that. Anyway, he comes out of the car and I said, hi, my name is Julie. Thank you for coming to Dinosaur Adventureland. And he's like, hi, my name is Chris Jones. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, here we go. But first, before that happened, though, before he came down the car, I want to mention this. When Dr. Hovind left the office, I went outside to kind of mingle with everybody and see what the commotion was all about that Dr. Hovind was saying to me. And I'm backtracking a little bit because I want to mention this. Mark Stoney took his daughter and left. He was gone. There was another family there with the children of 4 or 5, Jonathan's family. Jonathan's family, he took his wife and kids, left the property completely. He was gone. I went up to Freddie to see him in the kitchen, and he had all of his children go into the cabins, and he wouldn't let the kids out because of this guy coming. So people who are there on the property with children, they really were freaking out and getting off property and putting their kids in cabins. They didn't want their kids outside. So anyway, I went back, walking back to the office. This black car is coming down. I go to approach the car. He comes out. He said, "Hi, my name is Chris Jones." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I said, "How are you?" So I brought him into the office, and I see this little black boy coming out around from the passenger seat. So I bring Chris Jones into the office. I have him sign the waiver form. Dr. Hovind comes down. He says, "Hey, brother, how are you doing? Let's go on a tour," because Dr. Hovind gives everybody's tours, and that's what he does. So the day goes on. Later on at nighttime, it's about 5 o'clock. We always eat dinner at 5. We go up to eat dinner. Hardly anybody's there because, again, everybody's still off campus because this guy is here, the sex offender. So I waited a little bit till people left the cafeteria area so I can talk to Chris Jones myself because I wanted to get to know him and know his story. So I walked up to Chris Jones and I said, "Hi, what's going on? I hear things said about you that you're some sex offender. Something happened." He said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "What happened was," I said, "You don't mind sharing your story?" He's like, "Well, what happened was I was playing strip poker with these 2 little boys, and I got them down to their underwear. And their mother walked into the room, saw me with them down to their underwear, and the mother called the police on me and got me arrested. And that's how I got charged with being a sex offender." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I go up to Dr. Hovind because it's time now where he's getting ready to do his Bible studies. I go to his house and I'm talking to him about this. I'm like, "Dr. Hovind, I just talked to this guy. Like, this isn't good." And anyway, Dr. Hovind always says, "Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. Not a big deal, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, "Okay, well, would you like me to make a bed for him in the man cave?" Dr. Hovind said, "No, I'm going to put him in the house next door." Now, I want to make this very clear. Dr. Hovind keeps claiming that was Cindy's house. That was not Cindy's house. There was a different lady that owned that home at that time. So I don't know why Dr. Hovind is saying those things. So that's not true. So there was a different woman that owned that house. My husband and I were going to buy that house. This is a transition at this time when Chris Jones came that my husband was in a cabin at camp. We got all of our belongings and put it inside this house because we were going to actually buy the house that was next door. It was not Cindy's house yet. We were going to buy it first. So I told Dr. Hovind, I said, "Dr. Hovind, there's nothing in that house. There's no couch. There's no table. I took all of my belongings and moved it into our new home because we found a new home to buy instead." So I told Dr. Hovind, my bed is the only thing there that is left that I wasn't able to put in the back of the truck yet to take to our new house that we got. So there's no room for Chris Jones and this little boy to do that over there. The house is bare. The house is empty. Dr. Hovind said, "Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I will handle it. You go home and be with your husband." I said, "Okay, I'll go home and be with my husband." So I left. I went home the very next day. It was early in the morning because I'm there at camp all day. I'm in the office all day long. So morning till about 5 o'clock at night and stuff. Okay. So anyway, I'm driving past because I live 5 miles away from this property. So I'm driving past the house that I was going to buy because it's right next door to Dinosaur Adventureland. I'm pulling down Pearl Lane. I see Chris Jones' black SUV is still there. He's not at the property yet. So anyway, I just drive past it. I go to the office, whatever. So now I'm there. Chris Jones comes a little while after I showed up. He pulls up in the black SUV. Yes, the little boy is with him. Dr. Hovind tells Chris Jones, "I'm so sorry. You have to leave right now because everybody here at this property is freaking out that you're here. You can't be here. I'm so sorry. You do have to go." So Chris Jones did leave with the boy and left. Paul Hansen came onto the property and he was freaking out. He was going around concerned about what he saw with this boy. Now, Paul Hansen, when I was there at that house with my husband, Paul Hansen was also there on the property, but he had his own motorhome that he parked in front of the house. And Paul can use the bathroom and the shower and stuff. So we always left the door unlocked and open. Paul can always come in, use the bathroom, use the shower in the house. We never mind that. That's fine with Paul. We know Paul. So anyway, that's how Paul saw the boy and Chris Jones sleeping together, because he would go inside, use the restroom, and everything's open in the house, doors are open, whatever. So anyway, Paul comes onto the property and he's going around to everybody. Even Paul came to me in the office and went around to everybody else at camp, concerned about what he saw. And he even told Dr. Hovind, I'm concerned about this. This isn't good, Doc. This isn't a good look for you. This is bad. And Dr. Hovind always goes, oh, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I got it handled. I just want to say really quick, Dr. Hovind, if you are listening, you go around to public schools and you invite children to do field trips at Dinosaur Adventureland, and you allow sex offenders to go to Dinosaur Adventureland, and you don't think that that's a problem? I think that's a real serious problem, and I think you really got to reevaluate your thinking there. I just want to say that it's a problem, and I am not ever going to your place with my children. No way. No way. You allow sex offenders there. You have friends like that. I don't understand why you do. You have a child's playground area. Why are you bringing Chris John? Oh my gosh, it's not good.
Part of my biggest concern when I was with Kent was Steve Lynn, who is the tech man, who was a drug dealer, who was a drug addict, who was an alcoholic, who was a liar, who is a thief, and who is probably hooked on pornography. Okay. And I know this is difficult for you, Julie, but there are people in the chat talking about it. And I would like you to address the fact that how you fell into sin with Steve Lynn when you were on the property, and how Kent knowingly confiscated computers with videos of you and him on it. Could you just go into that,
Yes.
please?
Yes, and I'm actually really glad, Mary, that you brought that up. I was thinking how to bring that up, and I didn't know how to switch topics like that, because I'm just trying to be respectful of everything. So thank you for bringing it up, because I didn't know how to. I was thinking how to bring it up myself. So thank you.
Okay.
So yes, I did fall into sin, and I did cheat on my husband. Yes, I did. I feel awful about that. I thank the Lord every single day that I have a beautiful husband who forgave me from what I've done. And we have worked on our marriage, and our marriage is beautiful and stronger than ever. It really, really, truly has been. And I am ashamed of what I have done, but I also think that we have the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm forgiven, and I'm very thankful for that. So I did not know that I was being filmed. I had no idea.
By Steve Lynn,
By
right?
Steve
You
Lynn.
did
Right.
not know.
So what happened was, I was drinking. There was no drugs involved. I was drinking with him. He invited me over to his house. Stupid me to even go over. Stupid me. That was stupid. But I did. I went over to his house. He offered me alcohol. So I'm like, sure, I'll drink. And I did. He also offered me marijuana. He was a big time marijuana smoker. Huge. And I'm pretty sure there's other drugs that he does too, but I didn't witness any of that. I'm just sure he uses, I don't doubt it for 1 second. But yes,
You said no.
Well, to smoking weed, yes. But I did drink. And I was belligerently drunk. Like, I was so drunk. And yeah, he brought me into his bedroom, and I had sex with him. And it was so stupid, but I didn't know that he was filming me. I had no idea. And then I went to camp. I think I went to camp because I was very, very close with Freddie still, because I was gone from camp at this time. And I went back to camp because I wanted to say hi to Freddie and Manon, because I was very close with them. And everyone started saying to me, like, oh my gosh, you were with Steve. And I'm like, how did everyone know that? And everyone started telling me that there's a sex video of you doing it with him. Like, I didn't know I was filmed. So that was very bizarre. But anyway, Steve is not a good guy. I'm not a good person either, but Steve is Steve's not a good guy. He brings weed to other people. He smokes. He takes people off property to smoke and drink with them all the time. He did that all the time.
Let's keep the ground
That's my
level.
question.
And I also want to say too that Steve got away with everything. He was able to do anything he wanted. Steve stole donations from the ministry. I would do Science Center tours, and there's a donation box. And Steve Lynn he had a key, and he would go right in, open it up. He would grab cash, put it right in his pocket, and leave. I would go to Dr. Hovind. Of course, I finished the tour because I didn't want to, have other people know not good. But anyway, I went to Dr. Hovind. And I said, Dr. Hovind, I'm giving a tour. Steve just walked in and grabbed cash from your donation box and shoved it right in his pocket. He said, oh, no problem. He's able to do that. It's not a big deal. Don't stress about that. I'll handle it. Not a big deal. He always would say that. And it's like, but you don't handle it. That's the problem, Dr. Hovind. You don't handle issues. You tell everybody to just leave it as is. We're seeing problems. We're coming to you, Dr. Hovind, for you to be aware of these things and for you to fix these things. And you would just blow us off. Why would you do that? These are real serious concerns that we are having. You are a pastor. You're supposed to be protecting your church. You are supposed to be protecting the people there. Not good. And you want to be a leader? That's not a good leader.
Messenger him if he had trouble getting on.
Okay.
But I would like to help Julie broach to the next subject.
So really quick, I'm so sorry. And I really hope Dr. Hovind is listening. Dr. Hovind, I hope you are listening. Steve vandalized Cindy's house. My husband did not do that from his construction work. Please do not say that about my husband. You and your ministry also did not pay for Cindy's house to be repaired like you keep claiming. My husband got paid for that. My husband jacked the floors up. My husband took care of the roof. You had only one visitor from Dinosaur Adventureland to come and to work on the roof. And he messed up so bad. My husband had to go back and refix all the mess ups that he did. So I don't know why you're saying that your ministry dumped all this money into Cindy's house that you keep claiming, because you didn't spend a dime. In fact, you even told Cindy that that's your rental property. Our ministry has nothing to do with that. I will not be involved in any of your things that you're doing over there. So why are you claiming on your YouTube that you're so involved and you spend all this money repairing Cindy's house? My husband did all of the work on Cindy's house. And then when Cindy came to you really upset about your tech guy, that he ruined and destroyed Cindy's house by hanging wires. He stole things out of here, clipped wires, did all kinds of really bad things, which Cindy did win that court case on, by the way, if you didn't know, she won that. So he did it. You can't say that
Steve didn't even show up.
No, he
Steve
didn't. He didn't even show up. He couldn't even. Yep, he didn't even show up.
Wasn't worth
at
his
all.
time. Yeah.
And so stop saying that your ministry dumped all this money into Cindy's home. Cindy spent her own money paying my husband to do that work, not you. So I don't know why you're saying that.